two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me, and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. What is up, little biscuits and Surgery Tomatoes? It's your boy Eddie Collins.
Guys, and this is Justin Brown.
And we are back with another edition of movie news and trailer reactions. And Justin, we're going to start off a little bit somberly during this recording because we're starting off with the death of two famous black men, one infamous, you may say. But first, on March 29th, Louis Gossett Jr., star of Officer and a Gentleman and Roots, died at the age of 87. Folks may know that he is the first black man to win. He was the second black man to win an acting Oscar, following Sidney Poitier. But I believe he's the first black man to win Best Supporting Actor. And memory serves.
Well, happy trails to Lou Gossett Jr.
That's right.
Legend.
He also won an Emmy for his performance as a compassionate slave in the landmark series Roots.
Mm-hmm.
He was working to the very end too. He was most recently in The Color Purple. He did a fantastic job.
Yeah,
as Mister's father, evil ass father,
Mister, Mister. Period.
That's right, Justin.
Yep, it's from the movie. It's from the movie.
I know. Just it's just very weird that you would just be able to quote that out of nowhere.
Lines from Color Purple.
I mean, I know some of them, but not like I'm like really bad with recalling certain things. Like I'll be able to, like you saying that I'm like, oh, okay, I know what scene that's from.
Mm-hmm.
But like I have a hard time like quoting things verbatim unless like I've watched it like religiously. You know what I mean? Color Purple's not a movie you put on every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not just sitting down like having a nice sweet tea and saying, "Let me put this on, bro."
You sure is ugly.
But yeah, rest in power, sir. Had a fantastic career, a legendary career.
Mm-hmm.
And then O.J. Simpson, Orenthal himself, has passed away at the age of 76 due to a prostate cancer battle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the juice is no longer loose on our social medias.
Last post was actually predicting the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. And obviously that did not come to pass. So he decided to check himself out of here. That was it.
It was either going to be the cancer that got him or the bookies. Caitlyn Jenner tweeted out "Good riddance" #OJ Simpson. So there's clearly no love lost there.
Yeah, I mean, he probably found out that he actually did fuck Chris.
Oh, I'm sure he did. I just don't know if that like he's Chloe's daddy. But yeah, obviously OJ Simpson had a very
checkered past,
to say the least. With the most famous trial of all time, at least in my lifetime. Just wild. The People versus OJ, folks. Please go see that if you haven't watched that series yet. Fantastic miniseries.
Or just go watch the actual trial.
Oh, well, I mean, that's just hours and hours of legal documentation. Yeah. But it is fascinating, though. Yeah. I mean, dude, name another time when I remember everyone, like, at least in my age group or like my friend circle, but you and I have never talked about this. Didn't your school like pause everything to watch the verdict?
Yeah.
Like, we had a TV in our room and I'm like in first grade. We're watching the OJ verdict.
Hey, fuck the kids. We need to know what's going on with this rich black and him going to jail. Yeah. And then when you saw your teacher's face when they realized that he got off, and I'm sitting there like, I was literally the black Bart because I picked up on this shit that they weren't happy, and I laughed.
You're just cackling.
Yes. Oh, that's why my teachers hated me growing up.
Yeah, they're like, God damn it, the blacks stay winning. The Browns in this case too.
except Nicole Simpson Brown. That was a Brown that didn't make
Like
it.
it was that. Also when I think when Clinton was elected, like the inauguration or something like that, like they rolled in a TV for us to watch the new presidency, yada yada yada.
Interesting. Yeah, they just did it for the O.J. Simpson trial
Yeah.
and 9/11.
No, well, they didn't do it for 9/11 for
Yeah,
us, because a bunch of kids from my class's
yeah,
parents
yeah.
in 9/11, so that would have been too much. Um, also when TWA Flight 800 blew up, that was like off the coast of Long Island, that
Okay.
big thing. So no, a lot of New
Interesting.
York centric shit.
Yeah, but well, that's such a wild that O.J. Simpson just has a wild story.
Yeah,
You know, obviously he was acquitted, so we'll never. I mean, we could speculate, but we'll never fully know. Only he does. We know for sure he robbed up those people's memorabilia, but you know,
yeah. Well, I
ugh.
mean, rest
But
easy.
we're
Okay? You got away with it. You got away with one. I mean, I don't know what else to say. There it is. He gone.
I was avoiding saying rest in anything. I'm like,
No, no, no. Listen, he still has kids. He still has a family. They didn't do anything, and you got to look at the fact is that they lost, a father, grandfather, and things like that. So, you know, we could still be humans, and it's like, you know what? Rest in peace to him. At least, and hopefully his family can find solace to know that like all this weird shit surrounded around their family is going to be a little bit easier now that like he's not around. Which sounds pretty shitty, but I imagine that's a lot on his family dealing with his past. Has
oh
a
yeah, and popping up on Twitter saying, "Hey everybody, it's yours truly." Like we just like waiting for Uncle OJ to say something. Like
You think OJ was standing outside the pearly gates? Is like, hey, it's yours truly. You ain't coming in, OJ.
Family Guy definitely got a joke ready for him. They
Oh,
definitely ready for something. All right.
at least
Now
South Park.
we're gonna get to some fun news, everybody. Some casting news, everything like that. Speaking of well, we just recently recorded folks pulling behind the curtain. We just recorded a episode on Gone with 60 Seconds, which stars Delroy Lindo alongside Nicolas Cage. And Delroy Lindo, along with Haley Steinfeld, um, have joined the cast of Ryan Coogler's supernatural thriller that's going to be filming in New Orleans soon. That also stars Michael B. Jordan. Now, very little is known about this movie, but it is rumored to feature potentially Michael B. Jordan
Michael
in
B. Jordan. Michael B.
in
Jordan.
twin roles. That's what I'm gonna start calling him now, Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B.
Um, in,
Jordan.
in twin roles, and supposedly the rumored plot is it's going to be about vampires versus the KKK,
Okay.
which is very interesting. Also, Jack O'Connell has joined the cast. Um, very, very interested in how this pool pans out. Oh, and then Wunmi Mosaku
Yeah,
from
I was looking for that one too. Yeah.
the Marvel. She was in Loki season 2 as well as Lovecraft Country. She's also joined the cast. So
Yes.
Ryan Coogler's stacking up quite a solid cast. I can already smell that this is going to be a hit, unless it's just a disaster for some reason.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be a hit. But between Delroy Lindo, like some people were tweeting, they were like, "Yo, just get Aaron Pierre there." Like, and he pretty much has like the Blade cast, and it's about vampires. But that'd be crazy. What if he was secretly filming
Blade.
Blade, and they just
Michael B.
replace
Jordan.
Mahershala with Michael B. Jordan or some shit?
That would
That'd
be
be wild.
that would be
They would
wild.
never do that, but that'd be
Yeah, but that would be
crazy.
wild.
Or what if this was like low key the I Am Legend sequel? They just haven't mentioned Will Smith.
Hmm. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ryan Coogler, like from what I've read, is that it's an original idea because he has ownership in it, which is really dope that he was able to negotiate that. But it's also possible it could be past IP because some of the casting movie news we're gonna be talking about is how they're just fucking taking all this known IP and rebooting stuff.
Well, and that's and a lot of this that we're talking about today is that way. And as I'm reading through, I was reading through it. I was just like, just new ideas, new ideas. Stop this.
Well, we're not getting any new ideas just yet because we have a Freaky Friday 2 sequel coming out.
Jesus Christ.
Confirmed with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis returning and their respective characters from the original. So we have that to look forward to.
Who asked for that?
I don't know, but
Like,
it's going to be
who asked for that?
Nisha Ganatara, who has helmed some episodes of the Hulu miniseries Welcome to Chippendales, will be directing. They've been talking about trying to do the sequel for a while. I know that for sure.
Well, I know that Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan actually spoke that they would have loved to do a sequel of it. So I'm just like, but what's the story? Oh, you guys 20 years later, these swap bodies again? Like, so like what? She's elderly, so like the other one, the daughter gets to have a break. And now she's basically no, she has a break and she's going crazy because she understands what her mom goes through.
It'll probably be Lindsay Lohan has a daughter, and it'll probably be like the three of them constantly switching, a la like the Marvels or something like that. I can see that where it does like
that would suck.
I know. I'm just saying, like, oh, how can we do a twist on the original, well, the remake, and then still make it fun, whatever the fuck. But yeah, like you said, like who asked for this? And it's unknown if it's going to be released on theatrically or Disney Plus.
No, it's going straight to fucking streamer.
Probably Lindsay Lohan. She's good for that right now. She's like queen of the Netflix Hollywood movies now.
Yeah,
we just recently watched her Irish Wish movie, and that was fucking nuts. it was crazy, dude. Speaking of going back to the well, there's a lot of sequels news, everybody.
Yeah.
A lot of sequel talk, including The Matrix 5 is being created with Lana Wazowski executive producing, but Drew Goddard is coming on as the writer and director.
Yeah. And
well, he's at least confirmed for directing, but it says he's going to co-write the screenplay with his producing partner, Sarah Insberg. So here's the thing: Drew Goddard did The Cabin in the Woods, if memory serves.
Yeah,
I don't know how that translates. He was also nominated for the script for The Martian, and I think he also wrote Cloverfield. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he does with The Matrix because I don't know what story there is to tell. Matrix Resurrections was one of the worst sequels I've seen in a long time, and that's not just because we had a terrible movie theater going experience that blacklisted us from Warner Brothers screeners. But yeah, I just don't know what the story could be. I don't know. They didn't say anything about the cast coming back, who might be coming back from the original cast or the requel cast or whatever. So who the fuck knows? Maybe this could be the Morpheus prequel sequel that we were always hoping for.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But Drew Goddard was in the running to direct the new Spider-Man. I know that apparently his name is frequently mentioned, and he also had a hand in the Netflix Daredevil series. So because of that alone, I'm like, I'm going to give whatever you do a shot because that fucking series is just so good. But yeah, more sequel news. Courtney Cox is officially in talks to return for Scream 7, which is no surprise, to join original star Neve Campbell. And this seventh entry will be helmed by the creator himself, Kevin Williamson. Patrick Dempsey is also in talks to return. So getting back the band together, which is pretty interesting.
It's the last one.
It might be. I mean, if they're smart, they'll do what they should have done with Halloween. You know, we made that bet that ended up being reversed by Halloween 2018 when I was like, if they end it now, it's a perfect ending.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, if they came back, Jamie Lee Curtis is older. They kind of did a reboot of like Halloween, 2, so to speak. And it's like, it was perfect. And then they kept doing more. And you're like, this is getting worse.
Yep.
But if they just stop it, they end the story with like Sydney, and like, I feel like you kind of got to kill Gail at the opening. I feel like that's the way to show people that there's no rules in this one.
You got to kill somebody. You got to
kill somebody big. I think you either got to kill Gail, or if you're real bold, you bring back Melissa Barrera just to kill her in the opening. start closing the circle on this shit.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, you got to keep it hush. You keep it hush. Nobody knows.
Exactly. That's where I think it's either like that. I've been brainstorming. I'm like, you either got to kill. I think killing Sam would be huge, but also kind of like a fuck you to like the younger generation that started to like that core four, whatever they call themselves.
Mm.
Or you can kill Hayden Panettiere. You got to kill someone that the audience is familiar with. It can't be just some random new Fulanita person, right? So, but also you could kill Courtney Cox. She still gets executive producer credit, I'm sure.
True.
Gets a check, gets to die real quick. Probably give her a really good death, maybe. Because these people can only take so many stab wounds. Like, you know what I mean? She got stabbed in the gut like twice in the last movie.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's after being shot and shit.
It's time to go. It's like literally, it's time to go.
It's time. You're being called. Hello.
Pick up the phone.
Go to
ring,
the
ring,
light.
ring.
To the surprise of nobody, Five Nights at Freddy's is getting a sequel at Universal and Blumhouse. It's expected to arrive in theaters in the fall of 2025. It was a surprise sleeper hit, being simultaneously released on Peacock and in the movie theater, and still made $78 million. Wow. That was opening too.
Yeah.
Blumhouse's top opening of all time. That's crazy.
It was probably made for like $5 in the barbecue.
Yeah, well, I think we said it was a pretty low budget. It was like 20 to 30 mil, I think. It wasn't a lot.
The animatronics cost, so
yeah, I just can't believe that movie made that much money. Like the following, I just don't understand it. I kind of want to because I feel like I need to for business purposes, but I just don't get the fandom. Like, because I've tried to understand what Five Nights at Freddy's is. Folks, leave us a voicemail at streampipe.com/media popcorn. Let us know what's going on with Five Nights at Freddy's. Why do people like this shit?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again? Where do they leave the voicemail?
Streampipe.com/media popcorn.
For a second, I thought you said straight pipe. I was like, Brandon, that's a different kind of site.
Yeah, you go to straight pipe.
Straight pipe. I was like, media popcorn. You gonna get the pipe, and we gonna talk about it. But that's stream pipe.
Everything sounds like a threat when I say it. Come get that stream pipe, baby.
Exactly. That sounds pretty bad too. Stream pipe. We're sending you the porn sites, guys.
Well, if Google wouldn't have let us, Google won't let us be great. They took away our voicemail.
Yeah, yeah.
They did that shit on purpose. They've been trying to sunset it.
Yeah, bastards.
Fucking assholes. But yeah. Oh, God damn it! I didn't even say it right. It's speakpipe.com/media.
I thought it was off.
Well, I told you, folks. Full disclosure, my Chrome is acting real fucking crazy, so my tabs are opening all slow. It's just a nightmare over here in the Collins compound. But I'm doing my best. But leave us a message at speakpipe.com/media popcorn. It's gonna be in the show notes. Just go there.
Speak pipe, not stream pipe or straight pipe. Speak pipe. You can speak to us about our pipes.
Yeah, it still sounds like we're putting our pipes in your mouth, but we're trying here, folks. We're fucking trying. Okay. God damn it.
Oh, love it.
Apparently, Heroes is coming back because, like we said, there's no such thing as an original idea in Hollywood anymore. Yep. Series creator Tim Kring made the announcement at CinemaCon. Didn't they already do this before?
Yeah, Heroes actually did come back for like a limited like little mini series, something like that, or just it was like a wrap up episode. It was supposed to be years after. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Save the cheerleader, save the world.
Yeah, Heroes Eclipse is set years after the events of the original series as new Evos are being awakened and discovering powers that will change their lives. Featuring familiar villains and new enemies who will once again have to attempt to suppress the next step in human evolution. It will be up to the new group of heroes to save the world. Is
Milo in it? I know. No. Actually, I don't know if he's in this.
Well, they didn't announce any cast confirmations or anything like that. It's just that, yeah, you kind of got to bring them back.
Yeah, you got to bring some of them back.
I mean, I don't even know if they live though. I stopped watching after season 2, the original Heroes.
Yeah, same.
It got real bad very fast.
Yeah.
That first season's awesome, and then after that, like garbage. Speaking of garbage, Megalopolis, which is a film that Francis Ford Coppola has actually spent his own money making. I believe it's $120 million that he helped. He used some of his money from his wine company. He liquidated some stock to be able to make this film. Epic movie. The cast includes fucking Adam Driver, Giancarlo Esposito. You got Shia LaBeouf, John Voight, Aubrey Plaza. It's a stacked cast. And mind you, Francis Ford Coppola has done The Godfather, Godfather Part 2, Apocalypse Now, even Bram Stoker's Dracula. But apparently he held a screening at Universal Studios, at City Walk, which is a huge theater in LA. That's very close to where I used to live. And it was attended by a lot of studio execs, including a lot of directors and actors. Al Pacino, Spike Lee, Nick Cage himself was in the audience. And apparently it is not great. And so there's a big question mark as to whether or not he's going to actually find distribution for people to see this big passion project. I think it's going to be probably bought up by a streamer at best, and maybe get on a few limited screens. But no, he wants to spend $100 million on marketing. No one's going to give him that money.
No.
Especially after like movies like Killers of the Flower Moon, and other like Napoleon, those other big box off, big budget adult films have been bombing. Yeah, he's not gonna get anything close to that.
Adult films. I was like,
yeah, adult dramas and that shit. But because this article in Hollywood Reporter said that Shia LaBeouf gives the best performance. I'm like, well, that's gonna be hard to market these days.
Yeah, right.
Like he's a great actor. I think like he's grown so much as an actor. I've been a fan,
problematic,
but he's so problematic. Like there's a film group that like Discord page I'm a part of, and people are like, oh, like that's dope that Shia LaBeouf's like getting accolades again. I'm like, did y'all forget though that like his shit's gonna come right back out into the public light because of FKA Twigs suing him and saying that he like beat her and harassed her and assaulted her and shit. And they're like, uh-oh, I forgot about that. I'm like, yep.
Yeah, guys.
You always forget about the black pain.
Mm-hmm.
Black woman pain. News just be discarding it. Speaking of pain, speaking of black woman pain, Ice Spice has been cast in her first theatrical role in Spike Lee's High and Low. The pain that's going to be felt is from Denzel Washington because he's going to have to act with Ice Spice. Why did they do this? She's going to be like a singer or something like that on like a nightclub or something, I feel like.
I just
it's going to be a quick role. It's going to be a quick scene, I hope.
Like, all right, whatever. whatever. I saw that story. I was just like, seriously? I'm like, you know what? Who cares?
But as an actor, how does that make you feel?
It's whatever.
Yeah, it's clearly like to get the younger audience because they're like, Denzel doesn't bring the youngins in, so let's at least get Ice Spice or something.
Yeah,
because like I said, it's probably like some nightclub scene, and she's like a waitress or something. It'll be like Cardi B in like the Hustlers movie or something,
But still, it's just like, why is it that like the only reason like that role, even as small as it could be or isn't, could have gone to a black actress who's been working her ass off, to get into the business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like credits count. Like credits count a lot. And like you're giving the credits to Ice Spice for what?
Yeah. I just hope she acts better than she dances.
Well, I mean, she also had a sex tape that recently leaked, so
she does?
Yep.
Oh boy.
So hopefully she acts better than she does that too. Anyhow,
you saw it?
What's that?
You already saw it?
Come on, nigga. I'm nasty.
Okay. Well, speaking of
Twitter, man.
Jesus Christ, that's even worse.
That's how I found out about it.
All right. Well, speaking of Black Girl Magic, Candyman director Nia DaCosta is in talks to helm part 2 of the planned 28 Years Later trilogy from Sony Pictures. Danny Boyle and original writer Alex Garland are working together on the upcoming sequel that's set to launch this new trilogy. And then I guess they have so much confidence that they're already talking to director for the second one. So they
Hmm.
must really have it fully mapped out and just are going full steam ahead. Nia DaCosta, of course, is the first Black female director to have a film debut at the box office #1 because of Candyman. She also recently did The Marvels, which just got her a lot of shit. People are
Yeah.
like, she didn't even finish the movie. It's like, this is what directors do. Um, but I think it'll be good. I think she'll do a good job. I think it's really interesting to see where they take this film series, just because 28 days later was dope. 28 weeks later was pretty good too. They both did their own spin on the zombie genre. So and I think there's an audience that maybe is like anchored for some more zombies.
Yeah, it's also been a while.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I think it's but there's some potential for this series to do well, even
yeah.
though horror's kind of winning at the box office. I definitely think there's opportunity there. But we all know that horror's never going to fully go away, and I think that that's why some acclaimed actors are starting to get into the genre. Christian Bale is apparently playing Frankenstein. Photos of him debuted on Hollywood Reporter, like him on set, where he's playing the monster. Maggie Gyllenhaal's directing, and Frankenstein is being played by actor Jesse Buckley. An interesting gender swap there.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, well, it's called The Bride, so I guess she's going to be playing
Yeah.
Frankenstein's bride.
Yes, the Bride of Frankenstein.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Hmm. Yeah. Annette Bening and Penelope Cruz is Peter Skarsgård are also in it. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, out here doing some things. Yeah,
Yeah. And I saw Christian Bale in that makeup though, and it just made me remember like what lost opportunity Marvel had with him as the God Slayer.
oh yeah, yeah,
And
for
like
sure.
he did nothing.
Hey man, they're not all gonna be winners, baby.
But you get it's just so crazy, man.
They're not all gonna be winners.
I know. It's
All
just
we need is a stage.
I don't even know what that means.
That's Bobby Brown.
All right. Speaking of superhero movies, I, Tanya, and Cruella Helmer, Craig Gillespie, has been booked to direct the Supergirl movie for the DC universe that's being overseen by James Gunn and Peter Safran. They already cast Supergirl. I guess it's that young lady from the Game of Thrones spinoff, Millie Alcock. I haven't seen House of Dragons yet, so I don't know. I can't speak to her acting prowess or resemblance to Kara Zor-El.
Brandon, I guess the real question is, do we care?
Well, that's the big elephant in the room when it comes to DC stuff. I
Yeah,
mean, we're going to talk about one of the trailers, but it's completely separate from this universe that James Gunn is
yeah.
setting up. But I mean, again, Superman has a lot riding on it.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like until I see something that's even remotely coherent out of DC, I don't care about any of their properties. Show me something first, and then I'll start getting excited because they have burned us so many times. They've lost the benefit of the doubt. And I'm
Sure.
sorry, and that also goes over to, in my opinion, it kind of carries over to James Gunn. He's like, well, I think James Gunn to do it. It's just like, yeah, but the studio is
You
still
can't
the
do every movie. You
yeah, but
can't
like
do all of them.
but the studio, they're the ones that are in charge, and they're always in charge, and they've been royally fucking everything up. So it's just like James Gunn could come in and he could do dick just like everybody else did.
Oh, you mean like he could make a bad movie?
Yes, no Diddy.
Wait, so stupid. It's you're like 12 years old.
Yes, I am.
Uh, but Warner Brothers is booking some original material. They recently just landed a Black Samurai film that's going to be directed by Color Purple director Blitz Bazawol. I did an interview with him for The Color Purple. Very intelligent, creative man. And it's going to be focusing on the legendary Yasuki, an African warrior who became the first Black samurai. Now, this is a Yasuki is actually someone who I framed the story I wrote for Universal around.
Hmm.
And so very curious to see what they do with this story, because there was some interest in Black Samurai, and so I'm wondering if this might kick off some interest in that kind of representation in these kind of films. So I thought Color Purple was a really good um, visually appealing film. I think that there was some press controversy that maybe caused people to turn off of the movie. I don't know what happened with it, box office wise, but it is on HBO Max. I definitely would consider giving it a watch, just so you can see what potential the director will be bringing to the story of the first Black Samurai.
Hmm. It's interesting. Have you been watching Shogun?
I have not. It's I'm baking it.
Okay.
I've heard it's really good though.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good. You should check it out.
Yeah,
I
and
saw
it's a one and done too. I heard, so it's not like I have to worry
yeah,
about it being so expensive
multiple
that they
seasons,
cancel it
but yeah.
like fucking Warrior. You got me hooked on Warrior, Justin, and they fucking pulled the rug from under me
I mean, but
and
like
stopped me on the way down.
we had a good ass time on the
We
way.
did, but now I'm like, nigga, you can't at least give me a movie.
I know.
At least give me a movie,
That's
man.
actually
Come on.
one of my favorite series in the last number of years. Like it's so good.
Yeah,
It's on Netflix now, guys. So like if
that's right.
you should go check out Warrior on Netflix. Maybe if we drum up enough love for it, then maybe the streets will go out and actually maybe the Netflix will decide to give it a fourth season and give it like a final season that it actually deserves.
I was hoping that, but like I haven't read anything about the Netflix numbers doing well, and it's been on there for a few months now.
Yeah, I know.
So I just feel like it got lost in the sauce with all that. Um, but speaking of stuff that's like on Warner Brothers, HBO Max, the Dark Knight trilogy is on there, and
Mhm.
Jonathan Nolan, who's currently promoting his new series Fallout on Prime Video, talked about how he and his brother Christopher Nolan, when they were working on the sequel to Dark Knight, they actually were considering the Riddler, because Jonathan was convinced that Bane would be the right villain for the conclusion of their trilogy. But then once they
He
started
was right.
exploring, I'm sorry.
Maybe he was right.
I mean, I think Bane was a good choice. I think it was interesting to revisit Bane, given like how god awful he was in Batman and Robin in a live adaptation. And I actually think what's wild is I love Heath Ledger's Joker. That's like my favorite
Mm.
villain, cinematic villain, probably of all time. But I feel like people quote Bane a lot more, like from that series. I think that Bane's kind of stood the test of time in regards to those cinematic Batman villains, right? Like I think people remember Bane because he was so fucking crazy, and Tom Hardy's performance was so kind of bizarre, and his like lines and stuff are like, "So you think this gives you power over me? I was
Yeah,
born in the
I
dark."
honestly like. Yeah,
Because the
the
Riddler would have
movie
been like,
wasn't good.
"You didn't like it?
No,
Oh,
that last Batman movie was not really all that good at all.
no, well, bet to differ."
You like the Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's too long for sure, but I
Okay,
enjoyed it.
okay,
I enjoyed it. But
okay.
I think Jonathan Nolan, he said that the Riddler, when they were exploring it, it became too similar to the Joker.
Yeah,
Um,
I can see
which
that.
I think makes sense. I think it was good for them to not go that route, because I really liked what Matt Reeves did with the Riddler, where they made him like a serial killer who, I mean, he got caught pretty quickly, but he didn't get caught fast. He just was like let himself get caught. Damn.
So here's the
Batman really fucked up in the Batman, huh?
yeah.
He didn't solve anything.
So here's the thing, man. The thing with Dark Knight Rises for me is just like it could have been cool, but also it was a miscast of Bane. They should have gotten like a big fucking like The Rock or somebody else to play that role, or at least like it's because I know they can't use the serum, right? They want to kind of ground it in realism. Then get a big guy. The fact that Bane was smaller than Batman was kind of ridiculous.
Well, that's because you saw him in person.
Yeah, but even on the screen, they were the same exact size. It still didn't make any sense, considering like where that character comes from and everything like that. Bane's supposed to be a big ass dude.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You've in the chat said get that dude that played the Mountain in Game of Thrones. But everybody, listen, you need to bring some good actors to the ball game.
Exactly. You need to get somebody.
You gotta that's why they got Tom Hardy. They could have gotten fucking The Rock or Batista and stuff, but Batista wasn't ready for it at the time as an actor. The Rock is in a weird place, man. If I were The Rock's agent, I wouldn't know what to do right now because he's fully back in the wrestling, which is fine, right? But it's really hard for you to go back home and to get out of that and get people to consider you for something else. Like Jon Stewart's very lucky right now that the Daily Show return has worked out for him because that could have been disastrous. I think The Rock going back to wrestling and being the heel again, and then also saying the whole like on Fox News, like I'm not going to endorse nobody, I'm not endorsing Biden again. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but this is taking a weird turn.
I'm gonna say this. Did you watch WrestleMania or stuff?
Of course not.
Yeah, it was actually really fucking phenomenal.
I heard it's good. The Undertaker came in, right?
Yeah, well, no, I'm not even talking about just that WrestleMania match, but like The Rock coming back to wrestling, like it was like really fucking good. And actually, the numbers of the WWE went.
I'm sure they're insane.
They spiked, and like people talk about like, oh, this is kind of the best that wrestling has been in years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like he still got it, and actually, him bringing and back, behind the scenes things that I've heard, like that wasn't necessarily the plan for him to go heel. He kind of, like basically listened to the crowd. It's just like, all right, this is what we're gonna do, and that was his call. And to the point where the people running it were just like, I didn't think that he would do that considering his career, and he took that chance, and he obviously won, and he made everything better. Like The Rock actually won a lot of favor with that. So you have a lot of fans from watching The Rock come back. He's just like his star meter just went up all over again.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
you guys asking if Vince McMahon is running WWE? No, he's big now. Ever since he got accused ever since he got that accusation with the shitting on the assistant or whoever, and like
not funny,
all this crazy shit. Yeah, man, he's a wrap. Like they couldn't close that deal if he was still part of it.
Yeah, so when WME they had that merger happen, they created TKO. Basically, they bought out Vince McMahon, so he's done. He's out. They bought up all of his shares, so he's no longer anything close to being a majority stock holder. And actually, The Rock, with his appearance for WrestleMania, they gave him about like 90,000 more shares, which actually equals up to like $9.5 million just for that WrestleMania appearance. Like that's how big that's how much money he made them.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm not saying he doesn't have star power. I'm just saying that his career's in a weird place.
It's in a weird place, but I actually think it's in a better place, him going back. And I think people don't understand like the complexity of what he did and how that's and how it's being seen by the general public.
Okay. Speaking of being seen, the CBS TV series SWAT starring Shamik Moore has been.
Hold on, Shamar.
Shamik Moore, isn't that the kid from Spider-Verse?
I don't know what it is.
After being canceled, then uncanceled, then producing what was billed as its final season, CBS SWAT is getting yet another lease on life. That's wild, man.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. Keep them actors working.
Yeah. I mean, they probably looked at their slate like, oh, we need a little bit more content, especially since we're losing blue bloods.
Yeah,
probably we need some kind of cops on TV. NCIS ain't real cops. And folks, right now taking place in Las Vegas is Cinecon. So there's a lot of movie news that's coming out at the time of this recording. It's possible a bunch of big movie news has been revealed after we record this. So please don't get mad at us and tweet at us like, yo, you missed out talking about this thing or that thing. We're just trying to keep up with the news as best as we can. Speaking of renewals, Apple TV Plus has renewed Monarch: Legacy of Monsters from Legendary Entertainment for a second season. They'll also be creating multiple spin-off series based on the monster franchise. I think this is because Godzilla and Kong was such a big hit at the box office.
Was it?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was huge.
Huh, huh.
You got to read the trades, man. Yeah, it was a big surprise.
Well, I'm surprised because that looked like that was going to be stupid.
Oh yeah, yeah, but that doesn't mean that people don't want to see big monsters fighting each other on the big
I know.
screen.
I know. It's wild.
That's the thing is that you got to think about the stuff that's bringing people to theaters. But I do have hope based on some of these stories that are coming out. A lot of it's just fucking IP. That's the only problem, right?
Yeah.
For instance, there's a M Night Shyamalan movie that's coming out this summer called Trap. But here's the thing that frustrates me. I was telling Tati about it. It stars Josh Hartnett, who's like beginning to have a huge comeback because of Oppenheimer and everything.
Hmm.
And it centers around a father and a daughter going to like a concert for like a Taylor Swift kind of artist. But it turns out it's a trap for a serial killer. And Josh Hartnett is the serial killer. And so it's him trying to figure out how to get the fuck out of this concert. That sounds like an awesome premise, right?
Hmm.
But we also know M. Night Shyamalan fucks things up. So you're like,
Yeah.
oh God.
It's a trap for a serial killer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then another film that's coming out like horror based is going to be Smile 2. And apparently that also takes place at a concert. And what's wild about it is that apparently the trailer makes it seem like it's a Lady Gaga-esque concert. And
Yeah.
then you reveal that that's where the smile starts spreading, which is wild.
Yeah.
That's a cool concept. I was like, why, how are they going to make a sequel to that? And now you're like, oh, that's how
It's
the
like
smile could spread.
well, and then it's like only one person needs to get like one smile gets on the Titantron. It's over.
Oh, ooh, how many people? That's gonna be a lot of decapitations, isn't it?
Yeah, that'd be wild.
Ooh. Oh
But
shit.
it's not going to happen there. It's just it just spreads out between all the people that were there, and then like it takes how many days for them to actually die from it?
Oh yeah,
Right.
wow.
Yeah, and then they're spreading it to all these other people. So you're talking about like, yeah, a Taylor Swift concert, right? Or a Lady Gaga concert, and now you're looking at something where, 10,000 people got infected with this thing, and now you're going to have 10,000 people killed and then another 10,000 such and such and such. So like, yeah, that's like you decimate a population.
That's crazy. Speaking of decimating the population, we're getting another Transformers movie, but this one is an animation form. The first animated film of the franchise in nearly 4 decades. Transformers 1, with the voice acting from Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, and Brian Tyree Henry, will be coming out this fall, September 13th. John Hamm, Steve Buscemi, Keegan Michael Key, and Lawrence Fishburne will also be lending their voices. Very male heavy, obviously. Another one of those IP things where you're like, I don't know who exactly was asking for that, but maybe the animation will look cool.
Yeah.
You never know. Because X-Men 97 surprised the fuck out of me. So, and I didn't know I needed that in my life. So
Neither did
who
I.
knows?
If you have not seen episode 5, guys, you got to get on it. It's good. It's good. It's heavy, but it's good.
Yeah, it's so heavy. It's too heavy almost.
Yeah.
There's one scene I was like, oh, sweet God, they're not doing this to me. Tati was like, good thing we didn't watch this on Saturday morning. We'd be fucked up. She said, we'd be
We
having a
watched the
fucked up
same
day.
day that OJ died. Sorry. Oh God. Actually, it was. It was the same day that OJ died. Wednesday. Come on Wednesdays.
Okay. All right. We're going to keep it moving. There's a first look on Gladiator 2, Ridley Scott's sequel that stars Paul Mescal, Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, and Joseph Quinn. And apparently it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I guess Denzel might be being the big bad, which is really dope.
Yeah.
Kind of manipulating things from behind the scenes, but apparently into the bloody fight between Paul Mescal and Pedro Pascal. And I'm like, oh, you got Pedro Pascal in the ring fighting again like he did in Game of Thrones? I'm there. I'll be there. That's one of the coolest. That's one of the coolest, most tragic like action scenes I've ever like experienced. Like what? Like as like a viewer. Do you know what I'm talking about? Right? That episode of Game of Thrones.
No, I didn't watch Game of Thrones.
Oh, fuck. Dude, that was like that's like what broke out Pedro Pascal.
Oh, I imagine so.
He had a character arc. I think it was season 3, might have been 4.
UV in the chat saying Narcos.
No, so he got Narcos because of Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Like his role was that good that he got that like created everything. That came created Steamroll. But yeah, Narcos was a big platform for him, but like he really became people started taking notice of him because of Game of Thrones.
Gotcha.
Like he had a really dope character arc, but he had a fucked up death.
Hmm.
That's not a spoiler, just because the show's been out for years, so that's on you.
Yeah,
For that.
no.
But it's, dude,
It's okay.
if
I'm not gonna watch it.
if I gave you to fight, I'll just send you to fight. It's fucking awesome. Like what Lluvia was talking about, the chat, the mountain.
Yeah.
That's the dude he had to fight.
Yeah. Okay.
Is
I'll
you're saying
watch.
okay, folks? We should do a live watch of Justin watching this fight scene. We might have to do that next recording because
Okay.
you don't understand Game of Thrones. Did you see anything in Game of Thrones? Did you see the Red Wedding? Like, did you see any of like the big pop culture moments from that show?
I actually saw the last episode because I was in Finland and Paul and her whole family were watching it, and I was just like, this sucks.
Well, yeah, it was the last episode. It
Yeah,
wasn't great.
the last episode was terrible.
Fuck, man, we might have to. Folks, leave us a call. Leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/video popcorn. Leave us a message if Justin should watch Game of Thrones. I definitely think you should.
Okay.
I think you should watch it till the last season. I can actually, I'll tell you verbally what happens in the last season. Just watch it until the last season. It's some of the best television you'll ever see.
Okay. All right. I mean,
I'll send you that video. I'll send you the video of the Petra Pesco.
All the kids are going away on Tuesday, so I'll have some time alone to watch Game of Thrones or anything.
Next time, Justin, of course, he has a big beard. He's like, the Targaryens are evil. Speaking
Lots
of
nudity, that's what I like. You in the chat.
There's a lot of nudity, both male and female. It's pretty wild. Speaking of evil, the South Park creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker are making a live-action comedy with Kendrick Lamar at Paramount. Apparently, they're shooting this summer to hit theaters for 4th of July in 2025. They said that Paramount film chief Brian Robbins said the script is one of the funniest and most original scripts we've ever read, and it's certain to create fireworks when it hits theaters on July 4th. Oof. And it's not a musical.
Yeah.
Now, I was reading online about the plot. Isn't it about like a slave reenactor or something like that?
I have no idea. I have no idea about this thing.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's interesting. The fact is that Kendrick Lamar is a part of this, but almost at the same thing with Ice Spice. Why'd you pick Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, especially if it's not a musical, it's really weird. I'm trying to get a.
So you tell me there's no black comedic actors who could have came up off a role, but you had to just go with a rapper? Like that's the kind of shit that kind of bothers me, because they completely dilute the business for black people only.
Yeah, the story apparently revolves around a slave reenactor at a living history museum. During his internship, the man learns that he's descendant of enslaved people who were once owned by the ancestors of his white girlfriend. Interesting. But yeah, it is curious as to why Kendrick Lamar is starring it, for sure. The only thing is between Team America and Book of Mormon, I'm not gonna quite count this out. I'm gonna wait and see. Hopefully it's funny.
Team America's hilarious.
Exactly. And Book of Mormon's fucking great too.
I haven't seen it, but
It's
I've heard good things.
You gotta get more culture in your life, bro.
I'm sorry, culture, Book of Mormon.
Yeah, Broadway musicals, man. You need more musicals. I also
hear that Book of Mormon is incredibly racist.
I mean, it's fucked up. It's for sure fucked up.
So, like how much culture is in there, Brandon? Whose culture are we touting?
Yeah, they make fun of everybody.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. She said they have one scene in Africa, but it's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean the whole thing takes place in Africa. That's like the plot. But in final movie news, we have a live action R-rated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie in the works based off the dope graphic novel The Last Ronin. Not gonna tell y'all who The Last Ronin is. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Go
on. That's going to be developed by Paramount Pictures. Apparently, Tyler Burden Smith, who co-wrote the upcoming R-rated action movie Boy Kills World, and who wrote the 2019 iteration of Chucky horror franchise's Child's Play, is penning the script. All right, so Last Ronin is coming to the screen.
Wait, is this is gonna be as a live action? That's wild. I thought that this was an anime. I read it. For some reason in my head, I read animated. That's gonna be nuts as a live action.
Yep, it's in the headline.
I
But
know.
it's
That's
all
gonna
good. It's
be
all
nuts.
good, man. I know you got a lot going on and everything. That's why I'm here. But there's also going to be a video game based on the Last Ronin as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Did you know that also there's a Last Ronin 2
I saw that.
comic series out now? I'm
I
waiting.
saw that, but it's a yeah. Without spoiling things, like it's cool, but at the same time, like it's not going to have the same
Well,
beat that the Last Ronin did for obvious reasons. You know.
if I'm gonna give a little bit away, it's like that. Basically, the next Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Yep.
are taking over. The four turtles. If you read the last Ronin, the four baby turtles, they've been trained and now they're taking over as to defend the city.
Yeah, yeah. I'll wait till I hear some words. If you read it, let me know.
Actually,
I s-
I'm just gonna wait till the whole thing comes out and I could just buy it all as in the
Yep.
book, bind it together as graphic novel. That's what
Sure,
I did
sure.
with the last Ronin.
Yeah. Oh, and then some other some casting news, but it's still IP. Glenn Powell is going to be starring Edgar Wright's adaptation of The Running Man, a famous Stephen King novel. Um, yeah, I mean Glenn Powell, his people are getting him work.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
listen, Top Gun really did good things for him.
it really did. That's wild because I thought Miles Teller was going to blow up again, but Glenn Powell just sucked the air out of that balloon.
Well, I mean, Glenn Powell's far more handsome and he has far more charisma.
God damn.
No, I
Uh,
mean, he does. I mean,
yeah,
it's just the way it is. That's what
yeah,
the
but
business is like.
yeah, this will be a remake of the 1987 action vehicle for Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, Edgar Wright's also going to co-write the script with Michael Bacall. All right.
So, wait, and doesn't Miles Teller, didn't he have, like, some drama centered around him?
He's a little bit of an asshole. Yeah, he had some problematic interviews after like the Fantastic Four stuff, and he didn't get the he didn't get the lead role in La La Land that he thought he was promised, and had a falling out with Damien Chazelle. He's had a little bit of drama, but he's still been putting in some really solid performances.
Yeah,
So.
he has, but this the whole game is about like how well do people like you?
Mm, yeah,
And like if Miles Teller's out there gaining enemies while Glenn Powell's out there fucking eating up on the screen and looking good and everybody talks about how he's such a nice guy.
he's motorboating Sydney Sweeney's TDs. You know,
Mhm.
he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, he's living. He's eating.
Yep. Speaking of Eden, we that's a weird transition, but we did watch a few movie trailers before we wrap up this episode. The first up one is a Bollywood film called Kill, which feels like Train to Busan, but like a meet Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
It's pretty. Well, sorry about that, everybody. It's pretty intense.
They're saying that this is the most the most
Violent
violent
movie ever, right?
ever made in India.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it looks like it.
Yeah,
Looks
it's
like
looks
niggas just
gnarly.
killing each other through the cars and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, it looked cool, and I'm always down to watch some cool fighting, action, bloody scenes, a la like the raid and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
and after Monkey Man, it seems like that part of Asia is really starting to embrace like gritty, bloody action movies. So,
Yeah, so I mean, I'm down for it.
yeah,
I'm here for it.
definitely down to check that out. My surprisingly most anticipated film of the year just released IMAX trailer. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes released a trailer for their IMAX screenings that are going to be, all those tickets are going to be coming out soon. This movie looks amazing. Just
Yeah,
the world they built, it just looks incredible, and I'm really curious to see what the director does with this world and how he tells the story with predominantly CGI cast,
yeah,
you know, especially given that he's going to be doing Legend of Zelda. So I think this will give me a really good idea of like how he's going to tackle that material because that's such an epic, the world that, Hyrule is just such a big scope. I'm curious to see how he's going to do that. But yeah, I'm really excited for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
yeah. It seems awesome, and like I said, I watched the other Planet of the Apes that came out. What was it in the 2000s, right? Early
Yeah.
2000s, and like those were phenomenal. And if
Oh no, that was like the 2010s.
2010s, okay.
Yeah, early 2000s would have been the Mark Wahlberg version.
No. Well, I guess I was thinking like later 2000s, like when they started, but it doesn't matter. But either way, like the movies were phenomenal, and if it's anything close to what those films were, I'm fucking in. I'm fucking
Yeah.
in because those are so fucking good.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Another series that's been good, that's been very interesting, is this whole uh, X Pearl trilogy that apparently was set up to end with MaXXXine, which just released a trailer starring Mia Goth, Michelle Monaghan, Bobby Cannavale, Lily Collins, Halsey, Giancarlo Esposito, and Kevin Bacon. Um,
Kevin Bacon.
where it seems that MaXXXine has finally made it as a adult actress out in Hollywood. But her and other people in the industry are being stalked by the Night Stalker, who is a serial killer that's killing people. This takes place in the 80s in Los Angeles. Um, I mean, the cast alone, I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this series, man? This is getting crazy.
Listen, man, I think well, for one, the cast is great, but also the setting of fucking the early 80s. I think that they like that's it's a great time, just like thematically for this film, and then you
Yep.
bring in the Night Stalker, like, and I wasn't 100% on board with this, but the trailer really got me interested because I didn't know where they were going to go with it. It was just like, I don't know. After the second
Yeah.
one, I wasn't really that much sold on it. But like, the
Well,
trailer,
the Pearl was a prequel. Remember, so
yes,
we got technically it goes Pearl X then MaXXXine, I guess. So we
yes,
gotta
yeah,
watch them that order.
yeah, but even so, like, the movies that
Yeah.
came out, like the prequel, I was kind of just like, okay, whatever with that one. But like, yeah, this seems very promising.
For sure. And also the thing is, I think it's the way that they did the release schedule, like the way they released them, that X is first, but it's actually the sequel to Pearl. I think the Night Stalker, if they go full slasher, will probably be someone connected to the the first movie X and like one of those victims and like coming after because if it's about them making a porno and like fucking that's what set off the older Mia Goth character to start killing them and shit. Remember?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Or maybe they had a kid. We never knew. We never found out they actually had a kid, maybe.
I mean, no, but wasn't the night? No, that's somebody else. I was thinking the Night Stalker had that
Was
actual
that like a
serial
real person?
killer. Yeah, had something to do with. No, I think he was just killing women and whatnot. I can't remember his whole thing behind him.
Yeah, at first I thought it was like, oh, is it maybe the Zodiac killer that they're doing like a take on? But
Yeah. That's who I was mistaking him with at first.
yeah, but it's I don't think so, but we'll have to wait and see. But Ty West, man, I mean, holy hell, talk about coming out of nowhere and then fucking making this 3 movie arc.
Mm-hmm.
That's been a great showcase for Mia Goth. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in it, but not as interested as I am, and I didn't think I would be into this movie. Joker 2, Boledu. What the fuck, dude? I had no idea. Like, this looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
That last shot alone deserve that cinematographer deserves an Oscar. With the
I'll
lipstick lining up with a smile, that was
yeah, I mean
crazy.
that was cool. I mean, like I'll see I'll see what it's gonna be like when it comes out. I don't know. Just like, I mean, the first Joker was good. Like, I enjoyed it. But at the same time, I was kind of just like, what's a Joker movie without Batman? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
How many of these are they going to make without, Batman, or what are they doing with it? If they're not doing anything, it's just like, okay.
But I think that's what makes it scarier now. I think that for me, that's like what makes this second one so intriguing because now if there's like Harley Quinn with them too, and you
Yeah.
have these 2 psychopaths just running amok in Gotham City, and there is no Batman, that's terrifying. Because we
Now,
never had a world where Batman didn't exist, where Joker was just able to let loose.
true.
That's fucking anarchy, dude.
And I will give you, I got to say this. You heard it here first, guys. I saw someone was like, the mock-up of Joker with Harley Quinn and Lady Gaga as made up as Harley Quinn or whatever. Lady Gaga.
Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah, dude. It was like I was like, oh yeah. I was like, this actually might make Lady Gaga hot again.
Yeah.
I was
Something
like,
about you and I.
when she's
You
like, let's
and
get out of
I.
here. When she said, let's get out of here, I was like, oh shit. But it just seems like yeah, I'm actually really digging the fact that like it might all be an Arkham Asylum. And because of the first one, we know that he's a unreliable narrator. So we don't know what's real, what's not.
Yeah.
Apparently there's gonna be a lot of songs and stuff like that. So I'm definitely intrigued.
Yeah. It's. I know it's going to be rather artsy,
For
which I
sure.
think is going to be pretty cool and different for what we're used to, especially with this IP. But I like I'm going to see it. I just I still it makes me raise the question of just like, but why are we doing this? Like, what's the payoff?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Oh, speaking of musicals, one last thing I forgot to mention that was mentioned at Cinecon is apparently there was footage shown of the Michael Jackson biopic, and it was revealed that there's going to be over 30 songs in the movie, and it's going to be long. So I think we might be looking at a 3-hour biopic,
Oh boy.
which makes sense because you and I have been talking about constantly how the fuck are they going to tell a story
Yeah.
in a 2.5 hour. I don't even think 3 hours can make it happen. But if there, what's crazy is if there were a music artist that people would fucking probably sit for 3+ hours for, it'd probably be Michael.
Or if there were a musician that people will go to the theaters twice to watch part one and part two, it's Michael Jackson.
Yep. I mean,
And,
we're getting 4 Beatles movies. I can definitely see it.
and honestly, the Beatles don't deserve that. Michael Jackson's does. Like, if they split this movie up into two parts and each part was 3 hours, I'd understand.
Yeah. As long as he's good, as long as the nephew is good, because I can't
Oh,
do
yeah, you're right.
6 hours of a bad Michael Jackson
You're right.
impression.
You're
Like,
right.
imagine the Man in Mirror performance
Oh boy.
for
Oh
6 hours. That'd be fucking
no,
horrible.
no, Uvia, no Taylor Swift.
No,
Michael.
no, she's saying Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is that chick though,
No. She is.
because her
But
concert movie was over 3 hours.
no, but we're talking about a biopic.
I know, but Justin, if Taylor Swift made a biopic about a little white girl making country music and became the biggest pop star ever, that's gonna be a huge hit.
But it does not. It does not mean that biopic would have to be two parts.
Oh no, no,
Hours
but
a
but
piece.
I think Yuvi is saying that in theory, if they wanted to test the waters, she would be a modern star that you could roll the dice with and try.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, listen, there are stars after Michael Jackson who like you can make biopics about, and they're going to be huge. But at the same time, Michael Jackson still is the biggest star that ever lived, and like that's it. That's it. Mind you, yes, and like I'm not nothing against Taylor Swift, but all of the artists after Michael Jackson, they all lived in the digital age. Michael Jackson didn't. If Michael Jackson lived in a digital age at the height of his career, God, whoa. Like you can I can't even imagine what he would have been.
Yeah. Well,
It's kind of unfair, but that's why he was born when he was.
that's right.
Yeah, and he definitely more problematic.
Yep, and he couldn't stop till he got enough of that
Mm-hmm.
profilin. So folks, you can follow me at Frodo_Blackens on Instagrams and Threads. You can follow the show Medium P Podcast on all social media platforms, including TikTok. Go to youtube.com/Medium Popcorn Podcast. Be sure to click that subscribe button so you get alerted about all future reviews and celebrity interviews. And Justin, if people want to support the show financially as well as follow you, what can they do, my brother?
Or you can follow me at J Brown Did It on the socials, but you can follow this show and you can support this show at Patreon, patreon.com/medium popcorn. We have so much content on there, our entire backlogs. We have bonus episodes. We got mini shows. There's so much on Patreon and you need to be a part of it. And again, that is patreon.com/medium popcorn.
Patreon.com/medium popcorn. And leave us a
Exposing your
voice.
face, bitch.
Yeah, leave us a voicemail. Speakpipe.com/medium popcorn.
Straight pipe.
Speakpipe.com/medium popcorn.
Straight pipe.
Jesus Christ. All right, y'all. We'll talk to y'all soon.
Peace.
Peace.